Hi guys, welcome back to my channel where fun, fair and love live, but survival is paramount. Now for those of you who are coming for the first time, welcome and thanks for stopping by. And for those of you who have been here from the initial, thank you, and I really do appreciate you. Now, the topic for today is when it's a good time for me to leave that relationship, or should I stay for the children? Should I stay because we have children or we share a child, even though there's no love that is left in this relationship? Should I stay for the children, or when is it a good time for me to go? Now, many times we can speak about experiences that we have had as females, or we know somebody who has gone through some sort of broken relationship and struggle to leave that relationship and find your own footing. Oftentimes as women, when we have children in these relationships, even when it is at the lowest and you feel as if you're unwanted, and sometimes you're even being abused in this relationship, but because we have children or we have a child, we want to stick it out and we want to hang around and see if things will get better. Oftentimes we tell ourselves that, okay, he loves his child or he loves his children, and since I am the mother of his child or his children, he will come around. He's going to see that I am indeed important to him, and he's going to see that it is worth his while to have me remain in the relationship. And we stay there. Sometimes we cry night after night because, of course, you are here and you are in a relationship, but you are very lonely. Oftentimes, even when it comes to the partner and just have company, where he's concerned, is MIA. A lot of time he is missing. So at night the bed is lonely. You're there with your pillows. But when the day approaches and we rise from that slumber that the good Lord takes us through the night with, we got up and we bathe, we brush ourselves off and we lotion, and a lot of times we play pretend, because we still continue and we pose and we sometimes tell lies. Oh, he's so loving, and oh, he loves me. He does not care about you. So we put up this image as if, oh, everything is okay. Don't even mention the fact that we post more often than usual on Facebook, trying to convince ourselves that we have something that has long since gone. But again, in our heads, we think we can fix it. And we think it is worthwhile staying because we have a child or we have children. As in the case of this individual who asked me to speak about her story, it had gotten to the point where her partner did not speak to her at all. They lived in the same house, and he would come and he would play with the child and he would totally ignore her. It had gotten to the point where he stopped eating what she cooks, and he would take his clothes and he would actually pay somebody to wash them because he did not want her to touch anything for him. But she said she's going to stay because they have a child together. And for her, she grew up seeing her mother and her father being together, and she thought that would be the situation that would highlight certain things in her life and would set an example that she wants to follow. So she wants to give her child, her daughter, the same opportunity to grow up with both parents. She convinced herself that eventually he'll get better. It will get better. And he will come to recognize that you ought to respect and love the mother of your child. For what it's worth, he came around and he started behaving different for all of 2 glorious months. And then he went right back to square one. This time, it was very different because he became physical. And she was in shock when that hand hit her face. And of course, he apologized and told her that that wasn't his intention at all. And she bought it. She bought the excuse. She accepted the measly apology that he offered. And she stayed. I think because he felt guilty, he started eating what she cooked. And she felt happy. I said, okay, we're getting somewhere because now he's eating from me again. He would come home and, of course, he now places his clothes in the clothes basket. So she said, we're getting somewhere. She was very happy to wash the dirty clothes. That went on for another 2.5 months. And then he reverted to what he was just before the beating started. This time, he would curse her in front of the neighbors, in front of his friends, in front of his sister, and in front of his mother, who, as a mother, didn't even see it fit to say to her son that you are not supposed to be doing that. Instead, the mother turned to her and asked her, what did you do to my son? Why he had to put his hands on you? He said to her, don't listen to my mother. You know I did not do it deliberately. I was just angry. And I really don't know what to do with my emotions. I don't know what to do with my anger. So I lash out. But I did not mean it. And I promise you, I will never do it again. Needless to say, she got many whoopings after that. When is a good time to pack it in? When is a good time to realize that you have lost and you need to move on? Should you stay for the child or children? No. When it gets to that point, you need to cut and run. Count your losses and move on. Because there's no way you can be your best self in a situation like that. And please note, I am no expert, but your children do suck your energy. This person went on to she started shouting after the child for no reason. She would slap the child even when it is unwarranted. She didn't even realize how much she was taking out her frustration on her child that she loves so much. But there's a saying that says, hurt people hurt people. Believe it. She started telling him that she was going to leave. And he became the sweetest man on the planet. For another 2 months, which seemed to be his timeline for whatever it is that he is doing. So, of course, according to her, she got a little hope that this time, he might have recognized that all that he has been doing is wrong, and he is changed, and he is going to do his best to continue the relationship. So of course, she stayed. Lo and behold, he started staying out even more. So she wouldn't see him for the week. Many a night she got up late in the night and she took the food up and she placed it in the refrigerator because he was a no-show. He would leave, and whenever he returned, he would be in a different clothes than what he left in. She still convinced herself that it will get better and this is the right thing to do. I'm not doing it for me, I'm doing it for my child. So she stayed. What some of us don't recognize, when they got to a point when they think that you are not going anywhere and you have taken so much crap, they think they get the right way to continue. When is it a good time to cut and run? When it is a good time to save yourself? There's no way you can be your best self in a situation like that where you're being abused, taken for granted, and you're being outright being disrespected. There's no way you can be your best self. And as a matter of fact, when it gets to that point, you must recognize that you can't be the best mother to your child. It's impossible. And when you hold it in and think you have dealt with it, it is going to manifest itself one way or another. Fantasia sing a song when she said, sometimes you have to lose to win. Sometimes that's exactly how it has to be. You have to lose to win. So you lose that relationship, but you gain that strength. That strength to go on and to move and forge ahead. When is it a good time for you to count your loss or your losses and move on? Should you stay just for the child, even when there's nothing left? When should you quit? When should you pack it in? You need to save yourself in order to save your child. It's okay to lose to win. Do you know of a situation like that? Have you ever experienced something like that? When is it a good time to quit and run? When is it a good time to pack it in? Do you think it's worth it to stay even when he does not want you, and it made it clear to you and anybody that is important to you that he no longer has the desire to be with you? Quit and run. Take your child and run. In the end, your child will thank you for it when he or she understands fully what is happening. You have to lose to win. Do you know of a situation? Have you ever had that experience? Should you stay just for the child, or when all is lost, should you quit and run? When is it a good time for you to leave that relationship? When there's no more love, when there's no more respect, and when the lines of communication are blurred. When the two of you are no longer on the same wavelength, you need to quit and run. Take your child and go, if that is the best solution. But you need to excuse yourself from the situation. Many females will say, "Oh, I am there, but I don't business with him." The only way you can fully heal and be at peace mentally is when you separate yourself physically from that situation. When you separate yourself physically from that situation, then you can begin to make serious progress. It's okay to lose the way. Sound off in the comment section below. Let me hear you.